top 30k in the world, and I've still got my assistant manager chip active for the game week 26. Help me get this video to 1,000 likes and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it. Starting off with how my double game week 25 is going then. It is a low scoring game week. The average is 48. I'm currently on 69 points and I've still got 2 Liverpool, 2 Aston Villa players to play and my assistant manager active as well. The defence, it was a mixed bag. Obviously, I couldn't play Konza because he was injured, so I started Robinson instead. He failed to deliver. No clean sheet from Pickford this time either, but we did get clean sheets from Gabriel and from Trent, who was subbed just before Liverpool conceded, which was definitely a win. In the attack, there was lots of blanks. Rodgers, Palmer, Isak among them. But my transfer in Kluivert got an assist. Captain Salah scored. Watkins, my other transfer in, scored, and Chris Wood picked up maximum bonus for his 18th goal of the season. I did deviate from the transfer plans that I discussed on last week's video because of the injury to Gakpo. I went to Watkins as an additional transfer, and that meant that I could just about afford slot over Emery, who's on 8 points already, and that's looking like a good decision going into the second game. But obviously a lot can change given what will happen on Wednesday evening. Having used 3 free transfers last time out, I've only got the 1 free transfer this week, and I am motivated to change my assistant manager given that Arne Slot travels to Manchester City. Now the challenge is deciding exactly who to use the assistant manager chip on. Now I think probably the safest decision would be to back Mikel Arteta's Arsenal side at home to West Ham. It does feel like the 2 opponents have a big disparity there, and that could easily be a 10-pointer from Arteta. But the team that I really wish I had more players from this week is Bournemouth, so I could go Iraola at home to Wolves. Obviously I've got Kluivert for this game, but it does feel like one of the fixtures of the weekend, a home game. Bournemouth very much a team that are banging form at the moment. You could see them scoring 3, 4, 5 past Wolves in this one. It would be nice to chase the table bonus. Given my rank at the moment, I don't feel like I need to go too risky. Looking at the fixtures where the table bonus could come into play, the one that I find the most attractive is Scott McKenna's Ipswich side at home to Spurs. Ipswich, mixed bag in terms of form, but can get results at home. Spurs are struggling, particularly on the road, so that's the one where I feel most confident of an upset. But right now, it's Iraola who's going to get the assistant manager. Team selection time then, and the defence picks itself here given the injuries and lack of availability elsewhere. It's going to be Pickford in goal again for Manchester United at home. Tricky fixtures in the defence for Trent away at City. Gabriel at home to West Ham feels like a great fixture for him though. And Robinson at home to Crystal Palace. Hopefully he can get something in that game. Now I do need to get through the midweek fixtures unscathed because I've already got Vandenberg and Konza both injury doubts, so I could find myself thin on the ground. But with only 1 free transfer, I'm reluctant to take a hit for any player this week, especially when there's so many of my players that I've got already face off against each other. That includes in the attack Watkins and Rodgers going up against Palmer. I do feel like Aston Villa should have the advantage in that fixture. I've also got Isak and Wood playing each other as well, and Kluivert and Salah make up the 11. I am choosing to play Morgan Rodgers over Jacob Murphy, who drops down to the bench and looks like he could perhaps be a little bit of a minute's risk going forward, with Harvey Barnes back available for Newcastle United now. So that's one to keep an eye on as well. Morgan Rodgers, the 90-minute man, but will he get through the midweek unscathed first? And then the final player in my 11, the 16th man, is at the moment Iraola at home to Wolves. A 4-0 would be ideal in that fixture. I got those points from David Moyes a couple of weeks ago. I need a repeat performance here in this game. Locking a 12-pointer would be really, really great. I'm not prepared to take the risk with the table bonus. I don't think any of the fixtures are strong enough as things stand. Final decision of the game week is going to be who to captain, and again, it's not an easy one. Salah away at City, probably one of his toughest fixtures of the season. He did manage double digits in the home game. He is banging form as well, 2 double digits in his last 2 games on the road. Let's see what happens against Aston Villa. Both sides play midweek because, of course, City have got the second leg of their Champions League qualifying tie for the knockout rounds against Real Madrid. So who's going to be fresher going into this game? That could be something that affects things. Salah, the best player in the Premier League this season, the best FPL asset, so you can't overlook him. I'm also looking at Alexander Isak, purely because he's got a home game. Home to Nottingham Forest, though, was not the easiest home game that he could have, to be honest. And Newcastle United, having been imperious in December, have looked a little bit weak, particularly at home, since the turn of the year. So I don't know how much conviction I've got on that pick. The other option is to go with Cliver and really go all in on Bournemouth, because I have got Iraola as well as the assistant manager. So I am looking at him. Obviously, he's picking up the attacking returns. He's got penalties in his locker as well. It's just hard to know how sustainable this run of form is. We have seen a little bit of a drop-off in the last couple of games, so it does feel a little bit too risky. So I think it's probably going to be Salah captain, Isak vice, but obviously midweek events could change that. Let me know in the comments then your dilemmas going into game week 26, the first normal game week we've had for a while. It is a Friday deadline as well, and help me get this video to 1,000 likes. Subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't already, closing in on 38,000 subscribers. Thank you for watching.